Alright. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Sitting on My Floor with me. This is actually the second video I'm filming today. I'm still sitting, as you can see, in front of my bedroom door with my random frame that has nothing in it. Yeah, so ignore the frame like I said last time. Here's the door if you want to see it. It's pretty. I painted it. Thank you TikTok for the idea. Anyway, so today's video I am going to be telling you guys all about my alternative vinyl collection. So this one I actually have 8 records to show you. This is probably my second favorite genre of music. It's just alternative, so here they all are. You actually saw the first one, unfortunately. Unless you don't know what it is. But yeah, so let's just jump right into this. Just a little heads up, this is how this works. I show you guys all of the records that I have that fall into this genre and this category. I actually have 2 other parts of this video. I have my first part, which is the pop punk, all of my pop punk albums, which I actually posted as my first video ever on my channel. The second one I have is all of my pop records that came out on Friday. So yeah, this is part 3 out of 4. I have one more part to film after this. So yeah, let's just jump into it. So the first record I have in my alternative category is Billie Eilish's When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I absolutely love this album. I kind of got into Billie a little bit late in the game, but she's just so talented. She's so young, and it's insane how much she's like taken over. But yeah, so anyway, I'm not gonna go on a tangent, or at least I'll try not to. But yeah, this is just what the front of the album looks like, standard album cover. I actually got something on it right here, which is kind of making me mad, but you know, oh well. And then in here you just have all the songs and all of the lyrics to all the songs. And then the back is just standard, just black and white to go with the album cover. And this disc is actually really, really cool. I bought this at Target. The sleeve is just plain black, but the actual disc itself glows in the dark, which is really cool. This is the only record I own that's like this. So if I hold it up, sorry, I'm trying to be really careful about it. If I hold it up, it just looks like a kind of like a translucent kind of cream color on here. But yeah, it actually glows in the dark. I will try to include some footage of this spinning in another video that I'm doing about all of my colorful records, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, so this is actually really cool. I love this. I actually didn't know that it glowed in the dark when I got it. I've just been looking, I was actually just looking for When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go in general. Like, I didn't care if it was pressed on standard black or if it was on like some type of colorful vinyl. But when I found out that this actually was pressed on to glow in the dark, I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like, that is so like something Billie would want to do. But yeah, so When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? My 3 favorite tracks on here are You Should See Me in a Crown, 8, and either Bury a Friend or Listen Before I Go, probably. Yeah. So, yeah, this is When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish. Love this album. Highly recommend. I could go on for hours about how much I love Billie and how much I love this record. Next, we actually have a different artist. This is Bruce Springsteen's The River. This is another one that my dad got for me when I initially had first gotten my record player. I actually got records before I ever owned a record player. My dad, funny story, my dad had brought the case that I usually keep them in, or I did before, keep them in before. He brought it to a Christmas Eve get-together that I do every year with his side of the family, and he brought this, my Mariah Carey record that I talked about in a previous video, and like one other one that I can't think of right now. But yeah, this is Bruce Springsteen's The River. This is actually a 2-disc as well. So it doesn't open up, but when you open it, this is actually pretty cool. It has, this is just a little page of all of the song lyrics and all of that other stuff. Instead of the vinyl actually opening itself, like the case, like Billie Eilish's does, it's just on this record-sized paper. And then here's the sleeve that it's in. So there's a picture and the songs that are on side A and side B of this record. All of these pictures on the back, and this is just pressed on standard black. It's a little bit older, so it's kind of hard to find records that are older that aren't pressed on standard black. And then here is side C and side D sleeve. I like that they included some colors, like colorful pictures in here. I think that's cool, but yeah. So I actually don't really listen to this one too much either. I keep this just kind of also as a memory of my dad. If I'm like, you know, sad or like, you know, just kind of feeling not great about my situation and stuff, I just kind of sit and I look at this and I like remember when I opened it. I remember when I opened this, I was actually so mad because I was like, Dad, I don't even have a record player. You spoiled my present for this year. Like my Christmas present from my parents that year was my first record player. That was a blue Crosley Cruiser. I will do another video that's all about the record players that I have. But yeah, so this is Bruce Springsteen's The River. I don't really have any favorite songs on here. But yeah, this is just kind of as a memory to my dad. So, the next one I have is by Halsey. This is Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. This is her second album. I love this record so much. I don't think it's her best record. I would say probably her most recent album, Manic, is her best record. Although I do love Badlands. I was actually listening to it in the car earlier this morning. But yeah, this is Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. And then this one opens up as well. Just a picture of Halsey with the backdrop, like the drapes. I love this, like on her face. All of the roses and stuff. I actually might do that for like some type of Halloween video. If you guys would want to see that, let me know. And then here's the back with the track list. This album is actually really cool. In case you didn't know, it is a storyline that is similar to Romeo and Juliet, except it is Halsey's version of it. So she kind of tells the story of Romeo and Juliet through her eyes in a more modern era. It's really cool. It's kind of dark. It's darker than I would say like the most, like when you think like Romeo and Juliet, like Taylor Swift's love story, like she says like, Romeo, take me somewhere we can be alone, that kind of stuff. It's kind of romantic. This kind of isn't really as romantic. It's more like dark and kind of dreary, but it's really cool. So this album is actually pressed on a like translucent blue color. I love the color of this so much. So here it is, Hopeless Fountain Kingdom. And you can kind of see it has the darker blue splattered around it, like around here. It kind of goes with these palm trees kind of here. Kind of looks like water to me, and then here, like in here would be like the sand. But yeah, so my three favorites on this album are oddly enough, the prologue. I love the prologue for some reason. The prologue is actually the real prologue of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Halsey just reads it with a beat in the back. I love that. So I would say probably the prologue, Alone, Walls Could Talk. Yeah, and Walls Could Talk are my three favorites on this album. But yeah, love this album. Highly recommend it. Yeah, if you're trying to get into Halsey, I would listen to probably Manic or Badlands first, because this one is kind of like, I would say it's like an acquired taste, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, Hopeless Fountain Kingdom by Halsey. Sorry if I keep looking over here, my computer keeps going off because I have emails from my school. So, okay, next we have Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die by Panic at the Disco. I absolutely love this album. This was the first album I ever heard by Panic at the Disco. It's not my favorite. Pray for the Wicked is actually my favorite album. But yeah, this is Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. I love the colorful smoke on this album cover. I think it's really cool. So this is just what the front of it looks like, standard album cover. Then the back, you got Brendan in a car, just chilling. Then all of the tracks. This one is pressed on standard black as well. So yeah, there's that. There's my little window, so you can kind of see. Yeah, so my 3 favorites on this album are probably This Is Gospel, Nicotine, and Casual Affair. That was like the fastest I've thought of them, like thought of my favorite albums. Wow. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die by Panic! At the Disco. I love this album. Brendan's voice is amazing. It's immaculate. The vibes are so good for fall. If you like more like technological sound, this is a very fall. Sorry, I have hiccups. This is a very fall album that I highly recommend. So next we are going to be getting into one of my favorite bands, if not my favorite band of all time. If you know anything about me, you probably know that I had this band name on my old backpack throughout high school and through my first 2 years of college. So this is Paris. This is All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell by Paris. This is actually their second album. But yeah, this is All I Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell. I love this. Just kind of open it up, and here's all of the pictures and the lyrics, and yeah, here's the track list. Fun fact about Paris, if you guys don't listen to Paris already, I highly recommend. Their lead singer, her name's Lynn Gunn. She is one of the biggest, I would say one of the biggest LGBT icons of the alternative music scene, and she's actually the only person that contributes creatively to Paris's music. So she writes and records and all of that kind of stuff. She does all of that and like makes her demos and everything for the band by herself. So it's kind of like a solo project, but she also has Alex and Brian that go on tour with her, and Justin, who unfortunately doesn't tour with them anymore. But yeah, so I will leave some links in the description so you can see some clips of her talking about it. I really, really look up to her, and I really, really like Paris. I've actually never seen them live before, but I'm trying to really bad. Or I'm trying to really hard, and I want to see them really bad. I almost saw them on tour for this album in what was it? When did this album come out? 2017? I almost saw them in 2018, but it ended up not working out. And also my nails match the outside of this record, which is really cool. And then if I zoom in, it's Lynn, Alex, and Brian. Yeah, so this isn't my favorite Paris album either. I love this album though. This is probably my second favorite out of the 3. They just came out with their third album called Use Me on August 28th, 2020. Highly recommend. I will leave the link to that in the description of this video. If you can't tell, I freaking love Paris. A lot. Like, a lot. So let's get into what this record actually looks like. This one is just pressed on transparent, or not transparent, opaque white. Oh geez, hold on. There's a hair on here. Okay, there we go. Got it. Yeah, so this is just pressed on standard, just white. I actually really, really like it because it goes very well with the album cover. Yeah, so as for my favorite songs on this record, God, this is another one where it's like honestly impossible for me to pick 3, but oh God, okay. Anyone Else, No Mercy, and Walk Alone. Okay, I'm not gonna think too hard about it, but yeah, I love this album. I love Paris so much. This actually is not the only one that I own by them, but yeah, this is All I Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell. Yeah, by Paris. I'm not going to keep going with this album because I could go on for way too long, and this video would be 20 years long. This is actually the first record that Paris ever came out with. This is Paris's White Noise. This came out in 2015, I think. Yeah, either 2015 or 2016. something around there. But yeah, this is the first album I ever heard by Paris because it's their first one. They also have an EP that we don't talk about. Yeah, but yeah, again, this is just what it looks like on the front. This is actually the deluxe version, so it actually came with this little, you can kind of, hold on, you can kind of see it. It came with a 7-inch that has Empty, You and I Stripped, and You and I on here. And by stripped, it basically means acoustic, just FYI, get your minds out of the gutter. So yeah, this is Paris's White Noise. And you open it up, and it just has white noise in here with the like static looking kind of stuff in there. And the track list on the back. This album is actually really cool looking as well. It is actually 3 different colors. It is black on the bottom, translucent, it's completely clear in the middle, and gray on the top. It's actually really cool. So when it spins, you can kind of, you know, you can imagine just by me going like this, you can kind of imagine what it looks like when it's spinning. But yeah, I absolutely love this record. I don't know if it's my favorite album anymore. It contains my favorite songs, but their most recent album, like I just said, it's called Use Me. It just came out. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It came out August 28th. It's currently October, what is it, the 5th? Hold on, let me look. No, just kidding. It's October 6th, and it came out August 28th, and I listened to that album pretty much every day, like I did with White Noise when it first came out, and All We Know of Heaven, All We Need of Hell. These two are my absolute pride and joy. I love them so much, and I actually have another Paris record that I will be showing you guys in my last video. So yeah, this is White Noise by Paris. As for my favorites on this album, Smoke, Holy, and Let Them In. I'm not going to think too hard about it because I'm going to psych myself out. But Holy is, oh, it's such a good song. I don't want to say the story behind it because it's not my story to tell. I will leave a video in the description that shows Lynn talking about it because she, like I said, she is the sole writer and contributor to Paris in the creative aspect. She just has touring bandmates that go with her, and they're very supportive, and I love them both very much as well. So yeah, this is White Noise by Paris. So the last band we have is actually 21 Pilots. This is 21 Pilots' Blurryface. This album is really cool. It's actually, so funny story about this, it's actually not so funny at all. The way that this is pressed, one of the discs is like very messed up, but I refuse to get rid of it just because this album is, it's just so cool. So let me try and grab it. So here we go. So you can see what I'm talking about. So if you look at this, the sticker is covering up like half of the last song on this disc. It's supposed to be in the middle like this, but yeah, it's like very messed up. I probably could have gotten a refund for it, but in all honesty, I kind of didn't feel like trying just because I just didn't. And I don't really listen to this album that much on vinyl anyway. I prefer to listen to this Blurryface in specific. I prefer to listen to it like with my earphones in, just because there's so many different sounds and stuff. But the really cool thing about this record is that the inside of here, there's a couple different papers. There's a couple different sheets. And if you know anything about 21 Pilots or you have this record yourself, you know exactly what I'm about to show you. So this is the first page that goes underneath of all of the ones with the color, and then it just has all the song lyrics on the back. Yeah, and all of the song symbols that go inside the album circles. And then this is actually, you can kind of hear it, listen to this. Yeah, this is just a plastic piece. This is actually the face of Blurryface. If you know anything about 21 Pilots, you know that Blurryface is the name of this album for one, and it's also like Tyler Joseph, he's the lead singer of 21 Pilots, is kind of his like inner demons and everything that he was basically fighting off in this album. And then when you put it up with the paper, it shows all of the album circles and the 2 that are red, and it lines up perfectly inside of the record sleeve. It's very cool. I don't have any other records that do that. So yeah, just like thinking about it, it's very, very cool. I haven't seen any other bands do anything like that before. Geez, hold on. Sometimes getting these back in the right spot is very challenging. And if you own a record collection, you know what I'm talking about. Getting everything lined up perfectly to fit back into the record like it's supposed to can be a bit of a pain in the butt. Oh, that's why. Hold on. Sorry guys, this is taking me a minute. That's the bad part about owning vinyl records. Every time you want to put them back, sometimes it can take 5 minutes, sometimes it can take no time at all. It just depends on how loose the record is in the sleeve. But yeah, it says 21 Pilots, it says Blurryface. Then open it up, all of the messages, all that fun stuff, and track list on the back. My 3 favorite my 3 favorite songs on this album are probably Lane Boy, The Judge, and Hometown, I would say. Yeah. So, yeah, this is Blurryface by 21 Pilots. And last but not least, we actually have another 21 Pilots record. This is Vessel. This is Vessel by 21 Pilots. This is actually Tyler and Josh's grandfathers on the cover of this album. People that don't listen to 21 Pilots ask that question a lot. Why are there 2 random old men on the album cover? It's not. It's Tyler and Josh's grandparents on here. And then this is the back. So Tyler and Josh standing back to back with their grandparents with the track list on here. And this one is actually printed on clear vinyl. So just open it up. Here is the sleeve that has just the pictures and song lyrics on here. And here we go. Just printed on translucent vinyl, like my Ariana Grande one from my last video. So yeah, that is the last alternative record that I have. As for my favorite songs on Vessel, I would say Holding On To You, Car Radio, and Trees. Especially because of Trees Live. If you've ever seen 21 Pilots or you listen to 21 Pilots, you know how special that is because of the Trees speech that Tyler does before every single, before they play Trees at every single show that they do. So yeah, this is Vessel by 21 Pilots. And that is it for all of my alternative records. I have one more video to do with the collection theme that I have going on. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me on my floor again today. This is actually the same day for me, I just changed shirts. Fun fact. So yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Make sure you like this video and comment down below anything you have to say. I don't care what it has to do with. It can be about music or literally anything else. Questions from me, band suggestions, artist suggestions, where you buy your vinyl, your record players that you own, literally anything like that. Yeah, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!